Hi, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. And thank you for tuning in to High End Rollers TV. I am so excited today because I have the beautiful Holly Luton, and who is a mindset mastery coach. And we're going to be sharing with you exactly what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. So, Holly, are you ready?
I am ready. Hello, Petra. You're looking absolutely amazing today, I must say.
Yes, I do. I do have the curls going on today. I'm having a bit of a good hair day today. I'm so excited to be speaking to you, Holly. But before we get in, let me just tell you exactly how I met Holly. I met Holly on Facebook, as I meet most entrepreneurs on Facebook. And it was about 8 months ago, I think. And she just turned up as this bright, luminous light in my newsfeed. And I was like, who is this beautiful, beautiful woman? She just, her smile and her vibrance, and I just wanted to get to know who she was. So what I done, as I always do, I'm a bit of a stalker online, and what I did is I literally went to her website, and then I noticed, Holly, that you're from Wolverhampton, which is like a half an hour drive away from me, because, you know, I'm from Birmingham, which is West Midlands. And you may not have heard of Birmingham. It's actually about a 2 hour drive from London. So when I meet someone who is from the West Midlands, who is a passionate, vibrant entrepreneur and doing big things, I have to get to know them. So, Holly, didn't I then send you a message in Facebook and I said, hey, do you want to meet for coffee? Do you remember?
Yeah, and we did, didn't we? Like, in a very short space of time, me and Petra, we became friends quite quickly,
Yeah,
didn't we?
yeah, we did,
And
yeah.
it just seems that I think you obviously being the branding coach, it was just a, a partnership that was just waiting to blossom.
It just
And
was,
I
yeah.
believe we've really gone from strength to strength over this past 8 months, and I'm really excited to see where we're going to go from here as well, Petra.
I know. But the thing is, the funny thing, Holly, is that I invited you out for coffee, but what happened? We actually met up at what was it, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and then we had a sneaky, bottle of wine, didn't we? Got a bit tipsy, didn't we? Do you
And
remember that?
we had a lovely lunch as well in a nice restaurant. Your
Yes,
choice, I remember that.
yes.
And yeah, we just put all the cards on the table, and it was just really nice. It was really nice for me, from my point of view, to connect with a female entrepreneur, because one thing in my experience is that there's a lot of it's very male dominated out
Yes, it
there.
is.
I think
Yes.
actually you were one of the first women that I actually really came into contact with and connected with on that level. So yeah.
Oh, that is wonderful. I'm just so excited to speak to you and just to share your story about, how you have become a successful entrepreneur. And that's what we're talking about today. Because, a lot of people tend to think, oh, in order to be an entrepreneur, I need to come from, a well-to-do family. I need to have some type of well-to-do education, but it isn't about that. And what I'm so excited about with Holly is that she's going to be sharing with you exactly where she was before and the journey that she's been on and now as well, to show you exactly that, being an entrepreneur, a successful one that is making good money, what might I add, can be, is there for you, and it's there for me, and it's there for everyone. You just got to put the work in. So come on, share with us. Where did it all start? How did it all begin?
Well, I think it's only right to go right back to the beginning, to the basics. And I was an average girl. Like Petra said, I come from Wolverhampton, little old town Wolverhampton, the town where apparently nobody succeeds.
Wow.
And so you really do, a lot of the people that I grew up with these very much limiting beliefs on how successful we could be.
Mm.
I went to a very average school, had average friends, came out with average results, and I had an average mentality. I didn't really strive for much in my life.
Yeah.
My biggest desire was to go out there and to earn £30,000 a year. That was
Wow.
me.
So
That
was
was
mine, actually. So was mine, yeah.
and that was because my mum was a midwife. She was earning £30,000.
Yeah.
My dad had his own business. He was earning about that amount. And I didn't think I needed to earn beyond that,
Hmm.
because my mum and dad had, still living together. They had created a comfortable life for me to grow up in. So yeah, that was me, average girl. I went to university simply because I didn't want to go to work. I was a rebel. anything I could to avoid a classroom environment. But when it come to actually leaving school and getting a full-time job, I was like, no way, this is not for me. So I went to university and I picked a brand new subject that required no prior knowledge because, you know, quite frankly, I didn't feel that I was good enough.
What did you do? What was your degree in?
I did social care and criminal justice.
So did I. I did that same degree.
Gosh, amazing.
I
know. The mentality behind that, Petra, was, well, social. Well, I'm a bit of a social person, and criminal justice. Well, you need to know the law and everything you do.
Yeah.
That was the reason why I went for that degree. I had no direction, no purpose, no goals. I was just literally going with the flow of life. So I went to university, and to be honest, I did pretty well. I remember turning up to one of my late to one of my lectures, walking in, and I went to go to the back of the room, and the teacher said, "No, you sit at the front there." Handing out assignments, and I remember she said, "Holly Luton," and I said, "Yeah," and she said, "A15," which was one of the highest scores that anybody had had in the class. Well done to you, because she just told me off for being late. And from that point onwards, something shifted in me. Because I left school with C's and D's, very, very, I'd probably say below average, you know, from the group of friends that I hung around with. And I never really saw myself as being a success. But when I was told that I'd had an A, I actually it instilled a level of belief in me. So from that point onwards, I started to really put my head down and work hard. And I was lucky enough to come out of university with a 2-1.
Brilliant.
Which I was pretty chuffed with. So Petra, I was like, right, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to find that £30,000 job. I'm going to get my car, my house, my children. Everything's going to be perfect. You'll know it doesn't really work out that way. I got my first job, and I owed more money in student finance than I was earning in a year.
Been there.
Yeah, and being the newly graduated young person in the field of work, it's very challenging because you have a lot put upon you by other members of staff. You've got to get used to working that whole 9 till 5, and you know what? It just didn't suit me, and I started to rebel. And I used to say to my friends, right, I'm going to work really, really hard just so we can go on holiday for 1 week of the year and live absolute queens. I mean, tip every single way you go shopping, come back with a whole brand new suitcase. And that's what I did. Every single year I worked my arse off to the point where I got myself a second job at the weekends, waitressing for tips, just so I could afford to go and live a lavish life. So, you know, the great thing about it is I was able to go to Miami, Vegas, Thailand, Dubai, you know, all these amazing places in the world, which many people in Wolverhampton didn't get to experience.
Wolverhampton.
It came at a price, though. In 2013, after doing 2 jobs, trying to keep my fitness up at the gym, I went to Dubai and I fell ill. Really, while I was away, and didn't really know what was wrong with me. I got back to the UK after a week, and I was in bed for 3 days. I had jet lag, you know, I really did. And I remember taking my temperature and it being 41. And I thought, right, okay, this isn't right. So I managed to get somebody to drag me to the hospital, and I was admitted where I had pneumonia. I was in hospital for 7 days, and it was probably one of the most challenging times of my life because I didn't know whether I was going to live or die. They segregated me away from everybody. When people came into the room, they had to have masks and gloves and aprons. Because they didn't know at that point that I had pneumonia. They thought I had bird flu or something terrible. And yeah, so that was a real ordeal for me. I forged a relationship with an old black lady who was next to me. She was in her 80s, and she became my best friend. She used to tuck me in at night, and when I started to get better, I used to look after her. And unfortunately, she passed away. So it made that even more tragic of an experience. And when I survived and I came out the other side, Petra, I just realised that you know what? There's more to life than this. My mum and dad were coming to visit me alternatively because they were both working shift patterns, and I thought, you can't come and see your daughter together because you're working so hard at work. And it was that moment, you know, they say you have to hit rock bottom, don't they? Really start to open your eyes and realise that this life isn't for you.
Yeah.
I started to really change my mentality, and in the October, I quit my job, waitressing for tips, but I realised that was, you know, there was more month at the end of the money, if that makes sense. So I broke life, and you know, I had to give in. The holidays had to go because, you know, I just couldn't afford it anymore. And in October 2013, I was introduced to network marketing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a company called Vima, a health and wellness company. I hadn't just had pneumonia. It made sense for me. And when I found out I could make money, I went, wow, you can actually make money without having to do a 9 till 5. That was an eye-opener. I'd never met an entrepreneur before. I didn't know that world even existed. And so then I started to really surround myself, and this is one of the biggest, you know, points to, you know, what does it take to become a successful entrepreneur? Surrounded myself with the right people. I surrounded myself with the right people who had already got what I wanted. And that person was Phil Faulkner, who is now my partner.
Oh, God.
That's how much I put myself around him. You know, you have to glue yourself to these people. So he was getting the results I wanted. I really surrounded myself with him, and I started to build a team. I started to make money, and I was really enjoying this entrepreneur life, working part-time, very part-time, alongside my full-time job. But as I started to earn more money, my team started to grow. I was training my team members and giving them the processes that they need to go out there and prospect and recruit people and get them to sign up to your business. But even though they had the skill and the knowledge, the know-how, they still were not going out there and doing it, Petra.
Yes.
So I realised that if you want to earn more, number 2 point to become an entrepreneur is you have to become more. You have to be willing to become more. So I started putting myself into personal development books. I got myself a coach who I will definitely give credit to. His name is Robert Hines. He changed everything for me. You know, I really got onto YouTube and made the people who, you know, are a million miles away my coach to really help me get to the next level. And that information, I not only digested that and applied it into my own life, but I was able to teach it and share it with others. And then it's something clicked in their minds, and they were starting to take action as well.
Wow.
That's where I found my passion, my purpose.
That is amazing.
A mindset coach.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I know. So I started then I found my purpose. And this is what I love about network marketing. A lot of people slight network marketing. You know, don't slight network marketing. It's there as a vehicle to help people realize their goals, to help them realize their own true purpose in life.
Yeah.
Objective is not money. The objective is doing what you love, you know, and when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So I found my purpose in coaching, and I started coaching individuals on a one-to-one basis. I started coaching groups, did masterminds with groups of women and men as well, and people were just getting phenomenal results. So I just continued to build on that process. And very much big believer of the law of attraction.
Yes, you are.
The law of attraction will not work without action. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make very clear. That's another, you know, real
conception, isn't it? That.
Yeah. Totally. There's so many people out there that are living this fluffy life. Oh, the money will just come to me. No, you have to go out there and
do the work.
Yeah. You've got to 100%. Your 50%, and the universe will put in 100% of its 50%, and then it will come into fruition. So yeah, that's where I was, you know, really then started to attract all of these amazing people. And along the way, I attracted an amazing guy, John Canary.
I love him so much.
You actually met John Canary?
Yeah, we've met,
Yeah. So John Canary worked alongside Bob Proctor in the You Were Born Rich program, which you can
Mhm.
access on YouTube, and he worked back to back with him way back in the 80s,
Mhm.
long time friends and business partners. And I decided, both myself and Phil, that we were going to research this John Canary to see
Mhm.
whether he was still alive, because up until then, Bob Proctor had been our idol.
Yeah.
Well, when John Canary came in the picture, Bob Proctor, we love you, but John Canary, you did it for us. And it was really strange, Petra.
Mm.
Law of attraction, again, in action. John Canary, we Googled him, and John Canary was coming to the UK in like 2 weeks, and we were like,
Oh wow.
this is weird.
And what year was that then? Because I know that you started you kind of started
2014, I think.
2014. Okay.
Like November 2014, I think
Yeah.
it was, when John Canary came to the UK.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that it's just a blur being an entrepreneur. Like, it's just a big
It goes
blur.
so fast, doesn't it?
It does. So John Canary came to the UK, and then me and my partner Phil, we got VIP tickets, because obviously you want to surround yourself with these people. We got
Yes.
front of the room, we forged a relationship with him, and we went into business with him.
Mhm.
And it didn't quite work out the way that we wanted it to work out, and it wasn't any fault of our own. It was just the way that things work out. He
Mm.
so far away in Canada, Toronto, and being the age that he is, he's not very savvy on the net and using social media and things like that. So
Mm.
we had to just break away from him eventually, and carry on our own course. And
Mhm.
that's what we've done. And me, obviously, very, very much being heavily into the mindset,
Mhm.
teaching the mindset and helping people transform the results in their life, I realized that, there's 3 very important things in life. That's your
Mhm.
health, your happiness, and
Mhm.
your wealth. Okay, your health is number 1. It is paramount. Yes,
Yes.
I've been there, I've hit rock bottom, so I know that this
Mhm.
has to stay number 1. So I knew that I had to start doing some activities that were going to enhance my health, i.e. yoga.
Yes.
Started practicing yoga every single day. I got well addicted. I was going on YouTube, I was going to classes, and I totally got absolutely consumed in it,
Mhm.
alongside my coaching. And I woke up in the middle of the night, Petra, I'm not even kidding you, and it was February
Yeah.
last year.
Mhm.
Okay, February last year, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I tapped Phil on the shoulder, and I went, Phil, he's like, what? And I said, I need to become a yoga teacher.
Mhm.
And I just sat back thinking, what's he going to say? And he said, oh, that's an amazing idea. And then he kind of sat up in bed, and we talked about it for about an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
From then onwards, Petra, when you have a definiteness of purpose, when you have a clear, defined goal, and you know what you want, you don't have to know the how, but you know what you want, everything else comes into fruition. Within 2 weeks, I quit my full-time job, full-time salary job,
Mhm.
and I went to India.
I I just want to say here, everything you said is absolutely true. It began with you hitting rock bottom, okay, and then secondly, you found something that you loved in network marketing, and you found your purpose during that time. Becoming a successful entrepreneur, what we do isn't because of money, it's because of purpose and passion. So I truly believe that every one of us as human beings, we're born with a specific answer to a very specific problem. And when you find that answer, you can absolutely monetize it, because what you value, people are going to actually pay for as well. This is really, really important. So, you now had that idea in the middle of the night, and tell us what happened next. Tell us what happened next. I know, but tell everyone else.
I quit my job, didn't I?
Yep.
And I went to India. Luckily, Phil came with me because he was already earning an income from his coaching business as well. We were able to just get up and go.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to India for a month, where I learned how to teach yoga, Ashtanga yoga.
Yep.
And it was like 30 grueling days of my absolute life, getting up and being on my yoga mat every morning at 6 a.m. in the morning, and not finishing until 8 p.m. at night. And I really built that level of discipline And my guru, who I call my guru, his name was Kranti. He said to me, Holly, you know, if you want to conquer the world, you have to conquer your mind. If you want to conquer your mind, you have to conquer your body. That's what he said to me. So I realized then that, you know, I had to build disciplines by instilling, you know, new habits that, you know, I was really uncomfortable with doing. Nobody o'clock in the morning, nobody wants to work all the way through the day without, you know, really taking a break. And that is the consequence of success, is pain.
Wow, that's amazing.
I got back from India and I just knew that I couldn't, you know, success loves speed. I couldn't just sit around on this.
Yes, it does. Yes.
This qualification, I couldn't sit around on it. I had to act on it. And I worked with what I had. I didn't have, you know, all the money in the world to open my own studio. I didn't have that money. So what I did is I went out into the local community centres and I started up in little yoga classes. I did 6 yoga classes in the community. And because of my energy, because of my positive mental attitude, because obviously my experience in coaching, I attracted a lot of people to me. And before I knew it, my classes were full. People were queuing to get in and I'd say, I'm not sure whether we've got room for you.
Wow.
Yoga mat, you know. And then I realised that, hold on, you know, this is bigger than I actually imagined it to be. And remembering, Petra, that yoga is my secondary goal. Coaching is my first goal.
Yes, yeah.
So I taught for a year in the community, had an absolute blast, built my belief level, built my skill, became very well known. And yeah, this year in April, the 8th of April 2016, I launched my own yoga studio called I Go Yoga. And guys, if you only knew, like, where my building is situated, it's in one of the most historical buildings in Wolverhampton.
Wow.
It's so authentic and retro. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I would and that building's been standing for hundreds and hundreds of years. I would never have imagined that I would want to have a studio, you know, there.
I mean, I remember when you told me that was happening, I was like, oh my God, that's just amazing. We had a good phone conversation, didn't we, about it?
Yeah, I remember. And it happened really quickly, didn't it, Petra?
It did. You literally told me on one day, next week it was all set up.
Yeah. And this is what I want to really share with you guys. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't have the money.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about that. You just have to know what you want, and the rest will reveal itself to you over time. It's having the belief and having the faith, whether it be in God, whether it be in yourself, whether it be in the universe, Mother Nature, whatever it be, you've got to have that faith and that belief that no matter what, you are going to succeed.
Absolutely,
you know?
yes.
People have to give way. You know, when I explain my story, it kind of just sounds like I've just flown from one greatness to the next. But there have been so many challenges, so many tears, so many knockbacks along the way. But you just literally get up, dust yourself off and carry on.
Absolutely. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. It's having that purpose, that belief, self-discipline, you know, and, you know, making that decision to do it and then taking massive action, which is exactly what you did.
It is. And I'm still very early on. I'm 2 months into my business now. It's going really well. You know, I get emails and phone calls every day saying how, you know, I've managed to change lives. Last night I had a phone call from a lady saying that I've been nominated for the Inspirational Woman of the Year award.
Wow.
And I don't know where that's come from, but I feel I am absolutely truly blessed. But just to know that, you know, it's a journey and it's never ending. It always unfolds. Your journey is always unfolding to you. Your purpose is always unfolding. You've just got to stay consistent and just keep going no matter what.
Thank you so much for that, Holly. Thank you. You know, I mean, I know that, you know, our viewers are going to be so inspired to take action. You know, this is what High-End Rollers TV is all about. It's inspiring you to take action and to create the life that you actually want, make an impact and making the money that you want as well. You know, Holly is a high-end premium brand.
I
And
am.
yes, you are, Holly. And, you know, she started her journey in 2013. You know, it's not an overnight thing, but it does happen. Holly, this is the section now where I'm going to be asking you quick fire questions. Well, I want you to give me your quick answers, okay? This is the rolling round. So are you ready to roll, Holly?
I'm excited.
Good. So what's your favorite book?
Think and Grow Rich.
What's your favorite quote?
The only thing that will grow in your life is what you give your energy to.
Love it. What's the one thing in your business that you can't live without?
Good people.
Love that too. What's your weakness as an entrepreneur?
I love sleep.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think of that. Sleep. Okay, brilliant. What is the one thing that you hold to be true that most people would disagree with?
That you become what you think about.
Okay,
Yes,
fantastic.
you become what you think about. And
just one last thing, where can we find you online?
Okay, so you can find me on my Facebook, Holly Luton.
Yep.
I do have a fan page, but feel free to add me. You know, I'm very humble. I just, you know, let's be friends. Let's chat. Let's catch up. And you can also find me at hollyluton.com, which has just recently been renovated. So it's a bit bare at the moment, going back to the bare bones. But
yep.
Always have to review and start over, don't you? And that's where we're at the moment.
Absolutely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put your links below, and this is the end of our interview, Holly. So thank you so much for joining us today. And what I want you to do, if you like this video, if you found it really of high value, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and be sure to share it across your networks. Okay, and I'll see you next week in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.